2024 is almost over, so here are a few of the horror movies that I thought were surprisingly good this year. First up, Daddy's Head. Now, Daddy's Head is about a boy who loses his father only for a mysterious creature to take on the appearance and the voice of his dad. I like this one because it's creepy, it's interesting. I really like the monster because you only get to see some of it but not all of it. And I just think it's kind of a creative idea that I think worked out really well. Up next, we got the remake of Speak No Evil, Speak No Evil. Now, this one is about a couple that makes friends with another couple while on vacation, and they go back to their house only to end up being tortured by that family, pretty much. This one was a surprise because I love the original one, and where Blumhouse has really not had a good year, I was not expecting this one to be good at all. But outside of the ending, I really like this, and James McAvoy just absolutely kills the performance in this one. Up next, we have The Substance. The Substance is about an actress whose star is fading, who decides to use something called the substance that turns her into two different people, her regular self and a prettier version of herself. I think this one is more of a surprise because I don't think anybody knew what in the hell we were getting into when we watched this. And it's still one of the only movies I've watched where the last 15 to 20 minutes I was mouth agape because I didn't know what was happening. Up next, we have The First Omen. So The First Omen is a prequel to the original Omen, and it's about a nun that comes across a conspiracy to give birth to the Antichrist. This one was surprisingly good because usually prequels to legacy movies are not great, but this one is legitimately disturbing at times and really unsettling, and I think it just does a really good job for the most part of doing those two things exactly. Up next, I have Immaculate. This one's also nun horror, and without giving too much away, it's basically about a nun at her convent that finds out that maybe the convent is not on the up and up. And I'll leave it at that. I think this one was a surprise for me because it just seemed like a very random movie for Sydney Sweeney to be in, and she can really fucking act. And I think it's really hard to do nun horror right because there's just so many that have done it wrong. And this is just a movie that is entertaining from start to finish. And then my last surprise for this year is Milk and Cereal. Without giving too much away, this is about two friends that run a YouTube prank channel. And all I say is the prank goes way too far and way too wrong. This one was a surprise because I think it just came out, had no clue what it was about, told it was an hour on YouTube, watched it, and it instantly became one of my favorite found footage films I've ever seen. I think the idea is really creative. I think it's just a great movie. They act perfectly. This is one of those movies where if you haven't seen it, I really recommend it because I think it is severely underrated. But those are my horror surprises of 2024. Let me know what you guys thought.